Hi guys, I have another card video for you today and we are going to color with distress inks because over at Make It Crafty's challenge page and Make It Colorful, they have a new challenge and this month it is watercolor effects. You don't need to use watercolor to paint your Make It Crafty image. You can use any medium you like, but you want to get that watercolor effect. I am going to use my distress inks. Now to the image, this is one of the new released flower images from Make It Crafty. It is released both in digi and in rubber. If you buy the rubber you get a beautiful sentiment also. This is the Magnolia one and I have printed it on my printer as this is the digi one onto some watercolor paper. Which kind of watercolor paper you use is up to you. I have chosen one that have just a little bit texture, not that much. This is the pad. I picked it up here in Sweden in a Swedish store. It is only 180 GSM and the reason I've chosen that is because it goes through my printer. I have also taped it down. I have a teeny tiny border around which is sort of even. It's because I'm gonna paint the background also and then I get this little white border effect. I'm using painter's tape, purple painter's tape that I picked up in the hardware store. Yes. Then I have my distress inks. We are going to use 5 distress inks today. I have Bundle Sage for the branches and leaves. I have Milled Lavender, Shaded Lilac and Spun Sugar for the flowers and Weatherwood for the background. Also, the rest of the kind of tools of the trade is a acrylic block to be used as where I put my color, bottle of water or a water container with clean water, brush, any kind of brush works, and I'm gonna also use a mini mister for this thing. So I thought I'd show you how I make my palette and then I'm gonna zoom in so you just see what I color. So we are going to start with the flowers and we are going to do it in stages, but I'm gonna start with the Milled Lavender, pushing it down onto my acrylic block, like that. Then I'm taking my mini mister, which is filled with just ordinary water, and then I'm gonna spray it on top of that to kind of get some water and get it a little bit more runny. That is how I do all my colors, and I'm gonna show you the colors when I mix between them. But yes, let's get coloring. So this is almost dry. I'm going to remove this tape carefully. This is actually a one of those painter's tapes that isn't that sticky, and I thought that would work perfectly when I work with paper craft because it wouldn't pill. It's supposed to be able to go over wallpaper and stuff like that without destroying it, so it's quite a good tape, but still holds when you color. It's not perfect, but that's how it is. I'm gonna hit this with my heat tool because I still have a couple of places on this that is still wet, but I'll be right back. Now we're gonna do our last couple of things for the card. We're gonna do a sentiment. I'm actually gonna use the same watercolor cardstock that I used here. I'm gonna use with my stamp. I'm gonna use this Like Your Style stamp set. I'm gonna use this I Think of You Each Day stamp down here, which is a cute, simple little one. Then I'm using the VersaFine Onyx Black because it's my favorite black sentiment. And I'm just gonna stamp that, kind of figuring out up or down here. So we stamp it down here. I'm then gonna cut that down, that strip down, so that, let's see if I can just, I think I'm gonna have it as a half an inch. Yes. Now here's a tip when you're doing a sliver like this: cut from the bottom and up, because then you have the edges up there to keep it steady. And this was actually a little bit too big, so we're gonna do it even smaller. This is very detailed and very... Let's see if we can do this. Hopefully we can. I have to try and make it a little bit straight. And I'm pushing down pretty hard on this part. Let's see. It worked! And there we have the sentiment. I think this is the same size as this. It's a little bit longer, but we can cut it with our scissors. And then we're just gonna cut this down so I have the full length of the card. And then we are gonna mount this. And we're not gonna use a tape runner, we are gonna use some foam adhesives. I'm gonna use this kind of roller adhesive. And we're going to cover quite a lot of the background because, as you can see, the cardstock is warped from the watercoloring, and that will happen when you watercolor. So I am going to use a whole bunch of this foam, and this is actually a good kind of foam. It's a mounting foam, so it's supposed to be able to hold some amount of weight. And then I am going to cut a piece that is about half of this length, and then I'm going to cut it in the middle like this, and I'm going to put it on the back side of the sentiment. So now it's just peeling off that tape and putting that on top. This is, I have cut this paper to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, so it's just a 6/8 inch smaller than our base A2 card. Then we're going to do the little sentiment on top of that. Just add that up here. And that is our card for today. I hope you liked it. If you do, please thumbs it up, it means a lot to me. If you have any comments, comment down below, or any questions, and I will answer them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!